Now that would be bait for the traps. That would be lunch. That would be dinner. But the problem is there's just not much meat on the snake. And it's just pretty much all bones. But it's there if you chose to eat it. I've got plenty of food, I don't need it. But it's just no water snake. And he popped up and I saw black and I had him shot before he knew it. But anyway, just to clean up the camp, I'm gonna get rid of it. Now, in theory, this skin, I'm gonna try to wash it and see if I can dry it. That'll make a good backing on the bow, wouldn't it? Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna wash it and get it cleaned up and clean me up. Alright, there's our camp all set up. Tarp and the tent smiths and the double hammock. Got my pack, and you can see on the bull frame what I was talking about. A little pack just clips on there, and then on the bottom you can just take and just clip a bungee cord or whatever you want to, just to tie it down. But most of the time it just rides there pretty easy. And all I've got is just slip knots with a safety slip knot on the ends, toggles on the tarp just like before. On the corners on this one I just put a stick under there and run a guideline down to the ground. And on this end I actually did a trucker's hitch. Did a trucker's hitch on this one, and just run a toggle through the loop just so I could get it tight, and my rope is stretching, so I'm gonna have to probably tighten it again. But there is camp is all set up, and so everything that should be off the ground is off the ground. I got some things on the ground, but it's doesn't hurt anything. Got my haversack hanging up off the ground, and got my axe off the ground. And I like this size tarp because I can put everything that I have underneath the tarp during a rainstorm, and there's plenty of room to cover my hammock and also all my gear. So I really like that 9x9 tarp. That's a good size in my opinion. So anyway, there's camp. I'm gonna relax a little bit, rehydrate. It's a little humid, breeze stopped, so it's getting about that time of the day where about time to take a siesta till it cools off. Thought about setting some traps out, but I might do that tomorrow. I've got plenty to eat for a couple of days, so that should be all right. We'll turn the camera back on when something exciting comes along. So stay with me. Smoking a snake skin, just trying to tan it and let it cure. I just wrapped it around a stick and tied it off with some grapevine. So after let it smoke, it should turn a dark brown, and I'll let you see what it looks like then. Got some coffee on this morning. I'm gonna drink a cup of coffee and see what the day unfolds for us. Finished smoking my little snake skin this morning. I smoked it till about 10 o'clock last night. Still think it could use some more. Sitting here thinking about the mosquito dope I put on this morning. Coffee I'm drinking with creamer in it and sugar. And this is supposed to be a bug out. So eventually those things are going to run out. Then you're going to depend on the smudge fire or your insect repellent. Or you're going to learn which plants work as an insect repellent. Or you're going to take a book with you like I did. And I think the main thing is that, I mean, a lot of the little luxuries that we enjoy, like coffee and tea and sugar, things like that, I mean, we got to learn to live without. Make your tea out of pine needles. I mean, you make sassafras tea, you can make root tea, you can make wildflower tea. I mean, you make all kinds of different teas. But the problem is, you got to have to deal with that caffeine headache for a while. That's not fun. So, a little smudge fire is working now, ain't it? So anyway, there's really no way that you can duplicate what would actually be the bug out scenario. I mean, you can't duplicate what your mindset's going to be. I'm going to have to move. Hang on. Alright, I'm back. What I was saying was, there's really no way that you can duplicate what your mindset's going to be. I mean, you may have lost friends, you may have lost family. So, I think the mental aspect of it is just something that we can't duplicate. We can't practice. We try to prepare ourselves, but you don't know what you're going to do until you're placed in that situation. So, I know the military is big on repetition, so that when they're placed in that situation, it's just your training takes over. And there's something to be said about that. I mean, I've been in the military too, but just something I was thinking about. For instance, I had food in my pack. I had a little bit of food. So I didn't bother setting traps out last night. Now, in a real bug out, that would have been a big mistake. Because, I mean, the whole game is calories. And it may take 2 or 3 days for my traps to work. So then I'm out of food for a day or two. Then you've already lost that calorie gain. And so I think it, myself included, we've just we don't really grasp the concept of bug out, of leaving the comforts of home, coffee, for an extended period of time. Oh yeah, we go out camping. We go out and go hang in a hammock. But is that truly bug out? I mean, you're going out in the wilderness and staying for a couple, 3 nights, maybe a week. Is that bug out? the solitude of it. I mean, after I've been out for 2 or 3 days, and I'm not a people person, I start missing that human contact, that voice, you know, and you find yourself talking to yourself and talking to the trees and the camera and everything. And so I mean, are we mentally prepared for the solitude? The I know there was a guy that did uh, a 6 months in the wilderness or something like that, and I mean, he was just bawling like a baby before it was over with because he missed that human contact. And I don't know. I really don't think that. I mean, we can practice all we want. We can go out and we can play these games and different scenarios and try to prepare ourselves, which is not a bad thing, folks. Don't get me wrong. It's not a bad thing. But in my mind, I'm in the back of my mind, I'm saying, are we truly prepared? Um, it's not going to be an easy feat, that's for sure. So just my thoughts so far on the bug out process. I brought way too much gear. I knew I did, but some of that's going to be used as expendable stuff. And so as my gear decreases, my load lightens.